Hello and welcome to the Console Explosions podcast. My name is Cazteck and I'm coming from beautiful Ottawa, Ontario. And today I am joined by a gaggle of guests. And yeah, let's start it. Antonio.
Okay. Yeah, hi, this is Antonio from Guadalajara, Mexico, where it never snows, man. So we never get sick here.
Yeah, shut up. Jerk. And we're also joined by the video game hunter.
Hello. My name is Talibot. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I make random videos, pretty much.
Yes, and if you haven't seen them, check them out. And we're joined by a news and video game juggernaut in Mr. Tavian.
Tavian, also known as a philosopher, indie game developer, and writer for various websites.
Yes. And last but not least, we are joined by a master of knowledge, one of the newest members to the Console Explosion, the historic nerd.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'm from Meridian, Idaho, where I make random videos.
Yes.
I see a pattern there.
So welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is a big bunch for a podcast. Usually we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, just trying to get one person to join us. So having a gaggle is quite exciting.
Yay.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So we'll come off our last discussion on the podcast because there's been some changes in the world, and one of the biggest changes is obviously that affects every country from Mexico to the United States to Canada is the recession, and with that is things that are being shut down. Biggest thing, I guess, would be what I'd like to know from the historic nerd who did a video on EA, which is Maxis, which used to be untouchable, has now officially been axed. So, yeah, one of the powerhouses in the sim world is no longer. And what are your thoughts on that? If you want to start, Mr. Historic Nerd, because I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
Oh, what's kind of interesting about that is it really isn't different from what EA does normally, considering it's like the same thing they did at Origin, where they took all the rights and the talent out of the company and moved them to other studios, and then shrank it and then closed it. So with Maxis, essentially, once a Will Wright left, it lost pretty much all the creative force it had, so it was just making expansion after expansion, so they shrunk the talent and closed it like they pretty much did everything else.
So is it pretty much that they're just going to leave the whole, Maxis name just disappear totally? Because, I mean, EA is like Pac-Man. It just devours, and leaves crap in the wasteland, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that like green diamond keeps floating around for Maxis, but pretty sure it's they just took them for the name essentially, and then they took all the I don't even think Maxis made any of the recent sim games. I think it was all branched out to other studios, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, I mean, let's look at it. I mean, Sims and the last Sim City was a complete disaster. So
Sim 5 was so bad.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't inevitable. The untouchable is obviously always going to be, chopped down. That's for sure. Has anyone even played the new SimCity when it came out?
I bought it like 4 months after it came out, and I was just so disappointed.
Yeah.
Because like SimCity 3000 was really good, and then it was like almost like a tablet game in comparison to like the other SimCities. That's how easy it was, and basically how limited it was as well.
Wow. Tyler, did you play the new SimCity when it came out?
No, I'm not a PC guy.
Oh, not a PC guy.
I mean, I am playing Alice, but that's about it.
Yeah. Good game. What about you, Tavian?
I didn't play it. I followed a lot of the news that went around it with the whole you have to be online to play it sort of thing, and that kind of turned me off from ever actually getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
took them about a month and a half before they had that figured out when the game launched.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
And the whole announcement thing, like they denied it at first, and then later on they finally came out and changed their story about why their motivations behind having to be online to play it.
So it was always piracy, pretty much. Considering they did the same thing with Spore, and that was awful. Like initially with having to log into the EA account and stuff to get that to work.
Right.
What about you, Antonio?
You know what? Although I do love those games, I don't want to play them in a sense that I've talked a little bit about this before, but I have a problem with those type of games. It's too addictive to me. I used to play StarCraft like crazy, and this type of game constructing and managing resources and stuff like that is to me is like crack. And if I install that on my PC, then it could pass 2-3 days and I don't know what happened. I was still playing, right? So I although I love them, I don't want to install them because of that.
Your boss be like calling, where are you?
Yeah, I know myself, so I can't do that. But but I do love those games.
Smart move.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm the same way, but I'm with my biggest problem is Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's the worst one for me.
What was it?
Kill all your patrons.
Yeah, what was that game that it was just like this type of game, but was for you used to do like condos, and it's just you put elevators between the different.
Sim Tower?
I think was it Sim Tower?
Yeah, Sim Tower, the one where you built like the hotel from the ground level, and it was 2D pretty much.
Yeah, 2D. Yes, exactly.
Man, that game was addictive. My wife installed that recently, and she was playing that for like 5 hours straight.
Yeah, that was that was exactly the one that I had. That's when I said, nope, I can't be. I just can't. I can't handle this type of game. I don't have self. Restriction for any of these things. So
self-control.
That was the last game of those type that I ever played.
Yeah.
It's a pretty old game too.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though. Is like it's the old games that last forever, and you can still pop in now and play. Like I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and it's great. I enjoy those old games that you can just pop in that hold that nostalgia for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or that still work on like Windows 8.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, and you know what? And even if you didn't have nostalgia, they still hold up, even if you never play them.
Yeah, especially a lot of 2D games for sure, rather than games that are polygonal, because like I'm going back and playing what is it? Tales of the Abyss, and like it is. They chose to do like a 2D art style rather than a 3D. Like it is a 3D game, but the way it like those games, they don't look too terrible as opposed to like I love this game, but Metal Gear Solid 1, like it did not stand the test of time, like with the graphics anyway. The storyline, yes, but like you go back and look at it, and like his face is like 4 polygons. It's pretty pretty laughable.
Yeah, agreed. Well, the remake on the GameCube is still kind of looks okay graphically.
Yeah, they did a great job with that one.
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Otacon.
I think the worst games are like Virtual Fighter. When you compare the first Virtual Fighter to the new ones, those games do not hold up.
The one on 32X was okay.
Love that one.
I don't think I've actually played that one. The only one I've ever played was for the Sega Saturn and the arcade, and that's about it.
The only one I played is on 32X, and I have every single 32X game.
Wow.
Yeah, it plays very similar. The 32X, I have that as well, and I have as well the first version of the first game for the Sega Saturn, because there were 2, if I remember correctly, because there were some stuff missing that when they pushed out the Sega Saturn and they rushed it to market, they rushed that game with it as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're EA is well known for rushing things as well. So
I know.
Was that an EA game or a Sega game?
No, it wasn't an EA game, but I'm just saying it's like when it comes to rushing stuff, EA is very well known for that. Battlefield 4, which I'm surprised with the new Battlefield Hardline that just came out, that there hasn't been any online issues like there was for Battlefield 4 or even Battlefield 3.
It's the same game. It's just a mod.
Just a mod, but yeah. When they came out with Part 4, nobody could get online. It was just ridiculous. It was just garbage, but no issues with this one.
I just couldn't believe people were paying $120 to start playing that game.
It's insane. Well,
what do you get out of it?
All the expansion packs, basically, by paying that much. You're grandfathered in to get them all.
Okay. The season pass type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But for 120?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get a statue out of it.
See, it's ridiculous because I'll put this in perspective. How much is a brand new PS4 game? Where you're from, Tavian?
About $60, 64 after tax.
Okay. Historic Nerd. What about for you?
Same price, about $60.
Okay. Tyler, would you say about the same thing?
Yeah, it depends what you want.
Okay. Now in Canada, because we're so great, it's $79.99 for a brand new PS4 game.
Wow.
Damn.
It's actually close to what it is here in Mexico as well. So
yeah, and I knew that. That's why I didn't ask you your pricing because I know that.
Like American dollars then?
Sorry, what was that?
A dumb question, but that's converted to like American dollars versus Canadian.
No, that's in Canadian, so you're probably looking at close to 80.
Okay, so
if not more. If you switch it, put it into Canadian dollar or put it into American dollars.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's expensive, and it's not because of the companies that are selling it. GameStop, Walmart. It's the game developers said, "Oh, in Canada they'll pay more," so they up the price in Canada, and that is just the biggest slap in the face for like gamers up here, I think, because you guys are getting the same games for 64, but yeah, 69, 7. I just saw the newest games that came out this week, $79.99, and they're not special editions, they're just regular.
God, I remember like back in 1998 when I bought GoldenEye, it was $75 for the N64. So that must have been really bad for you guys back then.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's people don't realize, when it comes to the world of gaming, how much it sucks. Antonio's kind of in the same spot in Mexico, but they're also so far behind the times that he's able to get some really good old stuff for cheap because nobody knows what they have.
Yeah, and it's funny because like games like very well known retro games like Super Mario 3, for instance, would be much more expensive here versus if I bought it from eBay, even with shipping. But other games that I've shown before, like I got last one I got was Caltron 6-in-1 for the NES, and I got it for the equivalent of $3 US.
Oh. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Oh my gosh! I actually used to have 2 copies, but I sold one for $200. Believe it or not.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, and my Nintendo M82, the Nintendo M82, I got it for, let's say, it's 500 pesos, which is probably what, like $35, $40.
Yeah, I'm so jealous of that too.
And the guy was selling all VCRs. He didn't know what he had, of course.
Did you tell him?
Of course. Well, I told him that that's a Nintendo console that they used to have for demoing games, but of course I didn't tell him how much it was.
Yeah, did you know that thing over there goes for $5,000 on eBay? But hang on, before you change the price, I'll pay you $35 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a little beat up though. It had a crack there, and I didn't know it was going to work. But I mean, come on, for that price, wouldn't you pay for that?
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, with talking about, Maxis going, to the wayside like every other entity of EA, I guess we can talk about the biggest shock that the news that came by was Konami and the founder of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima. That, that's not even really a huge shock to me, to be honest. Since the rumors with Metal Gear 3, he's saying that was going to be his last one, and then the rumors surfacing again with him on 4. It seems like something weird's going on over there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Konami is kind of just milking the franchise at this point, and Kojima wants to work on something else. Like no one's. I don't think they've announced why they've fallen out, and I don't think we're going to hear about that anytime soon until at least after the Phantom Pain comes out. Kojima's a smart person; he knows about marketing, so he's not going to badmouth the company until they're done. But it is a huge shocker. But at the same time, it's like I'm kind of excited to see something new from Kojima. So I'm hoping that he makes the best out of this.
Agreed. Yeah, I think the same way, Tevin. I think that. As you said, he's been saying that this is the last game. Now this is the last game. No, this is the last game. It seems that he always was stating, right, that he wanted to make different games also. And I think Konami was just not letting him do it. That's their biggest selling franchise at this point. So why would they? They want them to continue to making Metal Gear games, and I mean, I don't know what happened, as you said, but most probably what happened is they just didn't let him do what he wanted to do, and we just had to part ways.
Yeah. And the kicker with that is that Konami's already announced that they're going to work on another Metal Gear. They're already doing hiring for it right now. They had some job listings for the next Metal Gear after the Phantom Pain, and it's already clear that Kojima's not going to work on it. So, like, if I was in Kojima's shoes, like, he's pretty much the creator, the father of Metal Gear Solid, and they're going to continue the series after he leaves. And I'm kind of assuming that he wanted the series to end when he was done with it, not like it continue after he's left the project. That feels almost disrespectful to me. But I know Konami is a huge business, and they're not going to let that slip through their fingers with all the fan base going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As you said, they already announced it, right? So that's probably what happened, right? They said, well, you're gonna make the next Metal Gear. Here it is. We're gonna announce it anyways. And he said, no, I want to make something different. Come on, right?
All right.
So but still, Kojima can be kind of a dick sometimes, right? Wasn't he when they were doing the Revengeance? That he shamed his old team because they couldn't make it as he wanted them to make. That's why they went for Platinum Games to develop the game for.
Oh, I haven't heard about that actually.
Yeah, they put out a video where all the different employees for making that game from Konami. They made them say in the video, like, yeah, we are not good enough, so that's why Platinum Games had to step in and do it, and saying stuff like, yeah, we were struggling, we were not good enough to make it. And you see that video, and it's like, shit, I mean, why would you put your guys to say that on a video, right? Saying that you're not good enough to make that. And I don't know if it was Konami or it was Kojima, or I don't know who it was, but
right.
If it was Kojima, that was kind of a dick move, to be honest. So it could be.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find out that link, and I'll post it to you guys for you guys to watch later.
Vengeance is actually a word. That's interesting.
It is? It's actually a word?
It's on the free dictionary. It just says vengeance or revenge. Huh.
Revengeance.
I know Kojima's really huge on making up words, like subsistence, and then what was the other one?
Revengeance.
Revengeance, subsistence. I thought it was another one. I guess not.
I'm looking at the Urban Dictionary. That's why. Never mind.
Yeah, that's not gonna help too much.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but I worked on an indie game for about a year and a half, and that never got done. And I'll tell you, working on one project or one like idea for so long, like just a year and a half, it takes a toll on you. Especially when you have other ideas that you want to do, but you can't because of either time or money or whatever other reason. And this guy's been working on Metal Gear off and on for 27 plus years, close to 28 years, I think. So, like, I feel like that would probably drive him crazy. Like, I have a quote from him during the fourth one when he says, "quote, this fourth is going to be the final one for me in Shinkawa, or Shinkawa. There are other things that we want to create," and that was before 4 came out, and he's still working on these games. Like, it's pretty. I mean, I don't know what Konami's doing to keep him there, but it almost seems like, hey, we're going to keep on making Metal Gear. It's your creation, but it's owned by Konami, so you can either work on it or you can not. And he seems like a perfectionist. Like, his games have all, like, he pushes them back until they're done. And so I can't see him letting somebody else take the helm of Metal Gear is almost what it seems like is happening.
Yeah, I totally agree. Kojima is a perfectionist when it comes to that genre. Even from the very first Metal Gear Solid for the NES all the way up to now. There was always a plan, there was always a story, there was always ideas to go forth. And it is sad to see him say, this is it. But that's like Miyamoto saying, I'm not making another Mario game. It's going to happen. There's no way that you can walk away from your baby in that sense, especially when it's a very successful and profitable baby.
Right.
You're walking away from a solid game, solid background, solid fan base. Hopefully it's not like he's being pushed out like Capcom and the Mega Man franchise, right? It's not that type of situation.
Ifune.
It's he was, I want to do this, and they're saying no, we don't want you to do this, and finally they just kind of pushed him out. Kojima's like, he's in a tough spot. But I think Konami's kind of flexing their muscle with, hey, we're changing the name of your studio. We're, this is what we're doing. They're playing a little bit of hardball.
Yeah, they essentially made them contractors.
Yeah,
maybe that.
Maybe they're taking a page right out of EA's book.
It's actually a really effective way to control overhead. You basically just make the programmers expendable, kind of like a copy machine. Just get rid of them whenever they cost too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this, Tyler? You're a big Metal Gear Solid fan there, bud?
Let's see. I played the fourth one first, and it did not drive me that much nuts until I got to the flashback of the first game, and it blew me away because I remember playing the demo of the first game, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm about to lose. I'll turn off the game." But no, going back playing the first one, I loved it.
Yeah.
But the rest of the Metal Gear Solid games are not the same as the first one. I like the overhead view more than third-person view then,
right.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually say you played the fourth one when it was mainly an interactive movie.
It was. I remember, I actually remember, okay, 30 more minutes until I have to go to bed. Okay, after this cutscene.
Hour later.
Come on,
later.
So you mean to tell me that watching the guy smoke for 15 minutes between installs. He's not playing the game.
I know it's surprising, but no, it's not.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that made me mad. Each time you beat a level, it has to update or install.
See, what's kind of neat about Metal Gear, though, is that despite it being really successful worldwide, it actually never succeeded in breaking 1 million units in the domestic market for Japan, like per unit or per game.
Yeah. I think it's just the whole espionage and things like that has always been more of an American, North America type nuance than more like Japan.
All right.
Like Japan's more tentacle monsters than espionage and secrets and things like that. So it's just I guess a different culture, and that's probably why that game wasn't so successful over there.
Right, and the story itself, it doesn't really mention Japan at all too much. It's a lot of there's Russia and America and South America, and those are like the main three. There's other places as well that they go to in like Metal Gear 4, but for the most part, it's a lot of America, and like the government and like a lot of corruption within that. So there's not much historically, or politically like interesting for Japan or Japanese people.
Yeah.
Which is I find very interesting why Hideo Kojima has always been so like fascinated with like America, Africa as well. I think was another big one, like Zanzibar and whatnot. But he seemed very fascinated in that whole like storyline, like that whole espionage, crazy corruption and betrayal type thing.
Yeah, and you know what? Even the PSP ones, because they were more South American.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. There's very few people, very few stuff from Japan. Probably Naomi, I think she's Japanese, but
she's from Africa though.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I think she's like half Japanese, but she was raised in Africa with Frank Yeager, Gray Fox.
Yes. So yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So speaking of creators stepping away from their creations, quote unquote, there's the talk of the creator of Super Smash Brothers stating that the last Super Smash Brothers game is his last, and it's as he talked about, a full circle for him.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
I think he's having health issues, isn't he?
Yeah, working on the game for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, more so, eat, sleep, this game, and especially with the pressure of Nintendo and the pressure of fans and to make a game that is successful and fun in his sense, but, for him, it's, this is it, do you think that this is the last of the Super Smash Brothers franchise? Or do you think they're just going to keep going on with it, or kind of regenerate it and shake it up a bit?
Oh, there's going to be more.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Does it make money?
Yes.
There you go. That's your answer.
Like Nintendo making those plastic toys that pretty much gives them the right to print money.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I definitely think. It's going to be a while before we see another console from Nintendo. I'd say, but with Amiibos and like they're working on bringing out Mewtwo and all this other stuff, and like how popular it really is, like casually and competitively. I don't see them getting rid of that anytime soon.
But they are, okay. They are talking about a new system. We're looking at next year for details, and probably at the end of the next year, a new system. So that's what I'm thinking, anyways. I'm thinking within 2017 we'll have the NX.
Hopefully they're going back to like a regular console and controller.
You think stepping away from the touchpad is the future for them?
Yeah, I hope so, cause that's really the main what's the word I'm looking for? Like, that's like the main reason why I don't have a Wii U right now.
Yeah.
I see them doing more integration between the different systems. Like, they seem to be a very backwards and forward compatible company. I think more 3DS compatibility, the Amiibos, like they wouldn't invest all this money into it unless they were going to use that for the long run, or if it's doing well, which it seems to be doing well. Like people keep buying those things up, like the Skylanders explosion that happened a few years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
I think hopefully I'd like to see a console where you don't have to have the gamepad, but you can still use it because it's really cool. But having to have that thing, it's kind of a pain.
Yeah, well, I don't think you have to have it because it's just an NFC point. You could add that on your even in your console, so you can put your Amiibo there. You don't really need to have the controller per se. Again, it's just the NFC. You can add that to your console. You can put your Amiibo there. Boom, it works. But I do agree that they need to be a little bit more conventional in a sense that if they want to have more third-party developers to get their way, it's really hard for them to make two different kind of games, one for one type of controller and then another for another type of controller, right? So if what they're planning to do is get more third-party their way, they're gonna have to be more conventional.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because there's not too many strong third-party games on there, and there's a lot of what do they call it? Like the games. There are a lot of games that are third-party, but they're just not that great. It's almost like the trash mob of video games. They just throw in all these games. And I remember working at GameStop, and there were so many Wii games that the price dropped on them instantly, like under $10 within like a week or two, like a month of it coming out. Because they don't sell, because they're just. It seems like no one's really focusing on any good third-party developer is not really focusing on Nintendo because the hardware is not there.
Yeah, look at all the third party big name games that bypassed the Wii at the time and the Wii U even, right? Like you compare Call of Duties on those systems, it's night and day compared to their the competitive system that it's on, right? There's just the power and the graphics and the ability of the Nintendo systems just aren't there. And the whole DLC fiasco, the fact that they just learned that they can download content to their systems and people will pay money for that. The fact that Nintendo just learned that is fantastic for them.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's when you do have a game, right? Because right now they don't even have games. The Call of Duty one was there. At least it was there. But now, none of the third-party developers are making anything for the Wii U.
Nope.
There's not much money in it. And I think a big part of it, I can't speak for the Wii U, but for the Wii, they didn't have very strong online gameplay.
No.
I think the Wii U has been improved since then, but I don't know if it can compete with, even the 360 or the PS3, let alone the PS4 and the Xbone.
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, the whole friends list or the friends code that you had to get for each game on the Wii was ridiculous, right? Like, that was just stupid. Nobody liked doing that, and that was, I think, the biggest problem with Nintendo and their whole thinking. I always talk about on the podcast how I think Nintendo's behind the times. They're ahead of the times on certain things when it comes to, motion control, the gamepad. But when it comes to basic video game 101, online capability, user interface, the amount of games to your system, it's usually never there. DLC and expanding the content, right? It's just not there. But seeing the Wii U and especially we'll use Super Smash Brothers. And the fact that they've, focused on that with DLC, they focused on that for competitive play.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing, but it's also going to be an uphill battle, I think, for the next generation of Nintendo console. Considering technically if they release a new console, that's going to bring them in line with what, the PS3, Xbox 360?
I guess you could argue that Nintendo's behind the times because they want you to have physical friends playing the game with you.
Yeah.
Gamers don't have friends.
Yeah, they really don't.
Those days are
We
gone.
have online friends and made-up girlfriends. That's the way it is. That's what it is to be a gamer. And if you're not a PC gamer.
Yeah, scattered across the world are where our friends are located, usually not in our immediate proximity.
Yeah. And, I totally agree with you on that, Ian. The fact that, yeah, Nintendo is about having your friends on the couch with you. But our generation of gaming, I'm 30 years old, so I grew up with Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, 4 controllers in, all your friends sitting there playing that. But I look at my brother's generation, there's 16 years age difference between him and me. And
Wow.
yeah, and I look at his generation, he's playing Xbox One, and no friends are over, and he's got all these friends online, and he's playing all these online games, and it's like, big difference. And what I remember is, everyone on the weekend come over, we'd throw in Mario Party or GoldenEye, and you'd have fun all weekend. And him, it's like, it throws in Call of Duty Black Ops or Call of Duty World at War or whatever. Advanced Warfare, that's what it is. Whatever the new one is.
That's what I was getting really sad about some of the newer Call of Duty games, is the playing multiplayer together on one system is really boring. Like, you pretty much have to have the the different platforms to play with each other on, otherwise it's just too constricted.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I own a PS4, he owns an Xbox One. I've never played a game with him. It sucks because it'd be really cool to, but it's like, PC, you can play PC to PS4 or PC to Xbox, but you can't do Xbox to PlayStation. So
I guess you gotta man up and get Xbox One.
Like that South Park episode.
Yeah, pretty much. But I got both systems, so I'm okay.
I have yet to get a PS4 or an Xbox One. I'm kind of like, I'm going to wait this one out.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, which is a first for me. But I've been doing a lot of PC gaming anyway, so I'll just wait.
Yeah, same here actually.
I got the PS4 on day one at midnight.
Oh man,
Stabbed a guy to get it.
I still got the receipt with my number on it.
dang.
You're not the video game hunter just for nothing, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. I got the PS4 pretty much on the second shipment. First shipment I missed it by one, so I got on the second shipment, which was like a week later. Oh my god! But it is what it is. I got the PlayStation 2 on release, PlayStation 3 on the Christmas after release, and then PS4 on release. So might as well keep it going. Yay!
Right.
I'll wait for the gunmetal version for the next Metal Gear.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
the only reason I'm going to get a PS4 or a next-gen console is for Metal Gear. That's about it.
I
Yeah.
remember waiting in line in Idaho when the Wii came out. Was it October? It was like -10 here or something like that. Waiting in line with like $400 in my pocket, praying I wasn't going to get stabbed or robbed.
Yeah. That's always the worst thing is like you stand in line at these events and you think someone could just pull up in a car and just tell all these people, give me all your money with a gun. And
Because that happened, right? Somebody got like either was bear maced or shot one of these times.
Man.
Yeah, it was during the PS3.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I don't know. I hear all the stories about the United States wonderful Black Friday events and
Oh,
all that
gosh.
jazz. What is with you guys? Psychos. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh my god.
See,
Well-
we up here in Canada, we celebrate your guys' Black Fridays, but we don't kill people on them. And we also have Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, and we still don't kill anybody. Everyone's very nice, and it's like the store, yeah, there's like 500 people lined up at the store, but nobody's trampling anybody.
Man, there's such good footage of Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of
Yeah.
wild stuff.
I've worked at a GameStop for like close to 6 years and worked pretty much every Black Friday, and it's crazy how how violent people can get and how selfish they get on those days. It's laughable.
Man,
Especially. Go ahead.
I remember I worked at Target for like 2 years, and I got to experience a few Black Fridays, and those were like the worst days of my life.
Yeah. No bueno.
Just a wall of people like arguing and fighting outside to get into the building, and then they open the doors and they build like shopping cart barriers to force people around the store.
Yeah.
And you just watch people just sprinting across the store. It's just terrifying.
Good spectator sport though.
Oh yeah. I remember I had a lady curse me out because we ran out of. I think we were selling the like limited edition DSs with like Zelda stuff on it, and she just cursed me out because we had sold out. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, did you manage to say, hey, there's plenty for everyone? Because that's what my manager did about the cell phones.
Ugh.
And people like bitch about it, like forever.
That's the worst thing is when you have your higher ups. Their job is to always say, "There's always plenty for everyone. Don't worry. It's always we have plenty. You'll get one." And then it's like, "You damn well know nobody's getting any."
Yeah.
You have your $299, your $299 70-inch screen TV. You know you only got one to sell.
Man, I still was using the old one, the old box TV.
Oh. So speaking of box TV, this is actually a nice little segue. And it's speaking of old school video games, they released a movie trailer recently about nostalgia for a lot of us. If you didn't get to see it, the description will be in the link will be in the description down below somewhere on this video. But it was for the new Adam Sandler movie Pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan. I like some of his movies, but lately a lot of his stuff has not been up to per se par. So looking at this, kind of hummed and hawed. I know a lot of the reactions online have been they've completely ruined it, but per se, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Oh man, I am. Everything here reeks of another Adam Sandler recent type of movie. The story was written by him and Tim Harlin, which he's written pretty much all his latest movies as well. But there's a glimmer of hope there because he did wrote as well Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, all those amazing, great early Adam Sandler movies. But man, the director is Christopher Columbus, and I think the last thing I liked from him as a director was probably the first Home Alone.
Gremlins.
Gremlins. Well, but that's Gremlins. He was the writer. He was not the director.
It's still a Christopher Columbus movie.
Yeah, well, but that's still earlier. The most recent one that I liked is Home Alone, probably, of all his list of movies that I have here in front of me. So, I mean, they had Toru Iwatani there, which is the Pac-Man's creator, which is great, but that's probably the only joke in the movie, and they blurred it out in the trailer, man. I don't know. I want to say that I'm cautiously optimistic for the movie, but I'm not. I really think this is gonna be a stinker. I don't see anywhere. As much as I'm trying, believe me, I'm trying to see what I can find to give me a glimmer of hope, but I just don't see it.
I've got 3 words for you. Peter Dinklage mullet.
Well, yeah, that was cool, but you know, he's just one guy there, right? It's just one small part of the whole thing.
Yeah. Um, I have mixed feelings about the movie, to be honest, but it does kind of remind me of two things that I do love, which may be good or bad, but it reminds me of WreckIt Ralph for one. Like it kind of has that feel to it with all the retro games, and then it reminds me of that episode of Futurama, where like pretty much the same exact thing happens, where like the Galaga planet or like Donkey Kong's in it, Galaga's in it. I think Pac-Man, General Pac-Man, yeah. Like it's pretty much the same exact scenario as that Futurama dream, I think it was, or scenario that happened.
It was What If Machine, I think.
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Planet Nintendo 64.
Yeah, Nintendo. Yeah, it reminds me of that for sure. Like I think whoever wrote this story had to have seen that episode. Like I can't see that not happening. But it does very much seem like new, like safe for work Adam Sandler rather than the old school, you know, what's the word? Not grungy, but like very not afraid to be like raunchy Adam Sandler, you know. And so like, he does have kids. I think he's like 40 or 50 now. But I don't know. I'm hopeful for it. Hopeful, but we'll have to see. You know, I feel like a lot of people aren't going to get this movie, like a lot of the younger generation. But you know, guys like us, we might actually enjoy this movie as adults.
Well, we yeah, I mean the references we're gonna get, but if it's not a good movie, does it really matter? How many references and pandering is there gonna be for us? I mean, if the movie sucks, that's my problem I have right now with it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna go to theaters.
I'll probably go to the theaters to see it though, because me and my wife we are huge movie buffs and we love to go to the movies as you know as part of dates, right?
Used to.
So, but other than that, I really think this is gonna suck balls.
you gotta let us know your thoughts on it when you see it.
I'll sure do that.
Yeah.
What about you, Ian? What do you think? Coming from an old school mind and trying to bring it to a new school audience.
Oh, what I was wondering is like, what's the rating in the movie going to be? Because if it's going to be like a PG-13, you definitely know it's going to pander more towards children than adults. But
that's the new PG-13. What PG-13 was like when we were younger was like the movie Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love that movie.
That was a PG-13. That was a PG-13 movie. You know, there was violence, there was sex, there was, you know, it was pretty much what the rated R now was what PG-13 was for us growing up.
Oh man.
So
is that the 80s? Because I did not really exist in the 80s until '89.
Man, the first movie I like remember watching was Predator with my folks when I was like 7.
Wow.
It's good stuff. But I don't know, based on the movie, it was kind of funny. I was reading some stuff on Reddit about it. People were complaining if a capsule was sent now with all the microtransaction games going into space, what the aliens would do and pay to invade. But it was kind of funny if you think about it. The games back then were nothing but microtransactions. You paid like 50 cents for a 2-minute play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pay for life.
Yeah. I think the movie is kind of be a nice, fun cash in on nostalgia for old arcade games. I'm just kind of disappointed they didn't go out and find the really weird, cheesy video game arcade stars from back then.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't see that in the trailer though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, well, for me, it's gonna be really interesting to see, just in the sense of again the nostalgia point of view. I think they did. I like the trailer. I just can't get 100% behind Adam Sandler. Just something about him. I don't know.
You play the Jack and Jill drinking game?
No.
What's that?
It's where you take a shot every time you hate yourself for watching Jack and Jill.
Never watched it.
I'll be pretty much dead then.
Yeah, you die. It's.
I saw the trailer for that movie and I'm like, nope, not even gonna. I will watch Piranha 3 Double D before I watch that, and I did. I had a choice. Piranha 3 Double D or Jack and Jill. I will watch Piranha 3 Double D over and over and over again before I watch that.
See what Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't think I even heard of that movie.
Isn't it like 3D boobs in it? Wasn't that like the big attraction?
The whole movie was
Yeah.
3D. Well, they had Piranha 3D, which was the first one. Then they had the sequel that took place in a water park, and it was called Piranha 3 Double D. And it was actually Double D. I thought was a funnier premise of a movie because the fishes were coming like out of like the holes and it was a lot better, I think. But yeah, stupid movies nonetheless.
I hope though that Billy Mitchell makes an appearance on the movie Pixels.
Oh, then it's worth it.
Well, I'm not sure worth it is, but hopefully he's there when the when Donkey Kong or Pac-Man appears as well there.
Oh yeah, he's the chosen one.
We need a refresher on Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is there a really good documentary called Chasing Ghosts about him and the other guys? Or Double Galaxies or something like that? Like,
there's one on Netflix about the Donkey Kong.
Actually, I met one of the people from that documentary.
Who?
They were at, I don't know, I have his autograph on the DVD in the other room right now. But he was only like in the small parts though.
Oh,
Yeah.
this guy. Okay.
Yeah, Billy Mitchell is the one that has the highest score for Donkey Kong, and I believe Pac-Man as well. He's the world record holder.
Yeah. First person to get the score.
multi-time world record holder and Guinness World Record holder.
Is he currently the holder right now?
I don't actually know. I think there was the King Kong Fistful of Quarters
Yeah, that's the one.
was the one.
King Kong, he's not. He's actually like number 3 right now or something like that.
Yeah, Robbie Lakeman broke it.
Yeah.
The score with 1,141,800, and that was on September 4th, 2014.
Wow.
Mm.
But he was the first person to achieve a perfect score on Pac-Man.
Yes.
Achieved the highest score on Donkey Kong Jr. And Donkey Kong and Burger Time and Centipede, and recaptured both his titles for the Donkey Kong games twice before losing them in 2010, and therefore then losing them in 2014. So
That's an arcade machine, man.
people who say you can't be rich playing video games, his mullet will tell you different.
He still has the mullet, doesn't he?
I don't know. Actually, I think I remember watching the Fistful of Quarters, and that's all you can see is the mullet. It's all you can focus on is that is one hell of a mullet.
Business in front, party in the back.
He's a solid player in
Business
video games.
and party all over. You just want to touch it. You're just like, I want to touch your hair, please. I'd buy a shirt with that on it. So, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a wig.
It's a wig. It might be. It might be.
You have the long hair as well, Tyler, right?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
So, who here's a big anime fan?
Yo.
Yeah.
We're-
Do you say "ooh" or "you"?
Me, I said yo, as an I.
Yeah. So, being big anime fans, I know there was a show on Netflix that, when it premiered, was actually a huge success over here. And that's not Dragon Ball Z. Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't know, it's a movie about a bunch of naked giants eating people.
I wonder if they're going to be actually naked in the movie.
Or at least shirtless.
Well, I mean, they don't have junk in the anime, so I mean they can get away with it.
Yeah.
You might have the junk.
That makes it creepier, the fact that they don't have junk.
Yeah. No Mr. Manhattan nonsense.
Oh, yeah, you know what? If they showed that big blue penis on screen, pretty sure they'd show penises on this.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a Japanese movie, so they'd have to be blurred out.
True. True. But anyways, didn't get to the point. The fact that they did a live-action teaser trailer for this movie and debuted overseas recently and has obviously made its way over here. And the reaction for it has been quite positive. I, for one, am very excited for it. I'd like to see season 2 of the anime first before a movie, but nonetheless, I still think this is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big mix.
You're a big anime fan there, Tyler. You picked up some animes when you were at your last convention, right?
Oh yeah. The reason I'm saying a big mix because the last time I saw like a live action anime was actually Death Note, and I really loved Death Note. And the first movie they pretty much follow the first season, but then you get to the second movie, they did not follow the ending at all. Then the third Death Note movie was like a huge spin-off saying this is what L did on the side, pretty much.
It's not a concept for a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember much from the third one, but it really you have to see it. It's not related. Well, it is related to the Gosh, I don't know how to put it. It's not really related to. It's related to the anime, but more to the live action.
Oh, okay. What about you, Tavian? What are your thoughts on this Attack on Titan?
I'm excited for it. I always get kind of worried, but it's usually when Hollywood tries to make an anime movie, I get nervous. But
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z or any video game movie that.
Fist the North Star. You got to go to that one.
Oh god,
that's the greatest live-action anime ever made.
What is?
Oh, Fist of the North Star? It's like the ultimate 80s film. Well, early 90s. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta go see it then.
Oh, you should watch it. I think it's on Netflix still, but it's god-awful.
Oh, my motion deru. Yeah, I think, like, just from the 30 seconds that I saw from that clip, I'm very hopeful. It looks like they're trying to stay as true to it as possible. I'm curious to see how they're going to do the special effects of the equipment that they use. Like I see the dual swords. Like I saw like a frame or two where they have the dual swords and the whole propulsion type system. I'm really excited to see how they do that with special effects and whatnot. The monsters look pretty good. They showed 2 different Titans from what I saw, and the CG looks decent on it so far. But yeah, I want to see another trailer before I really have a conclusion one way or the other. But I'm leaning towards the side of hopeful.
Cool. What about you, Ian? What's your thoughts?
Based on what I can tell, just the imagery, this is me probably overanalyzing it. The funny thing, when I made my little video of complaining about the show, and one of the people complained the most about my video was they're like, "Oh, you didn't read the manga, man. It explains everything." But what I found out, though, is apparently the walls weren't built by humans, apparently, at least what people were saying in the manga. But the trailer shows humans building the walls rather quickly. So that changes the plot quite a bit from the anime. But and then another thing that I thought was interesting was all the actors are Japanese, where in the anime, there's only like 2 Japanese people left alive in existence, apparently. So it's a completely different shift. You got that kind of like Avatar casting thing going, but it's really.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's. I watched the entire show and just overanalyzed everything.
Yeah. You actually ruined it for me, man.
I'm not gonna watch it anymore.
Like 7 minutes, I sum up what I hate.
Yeah.
You have to send a link to that as well, so I can watch that one.
Overall, though, it's a really well put together anime as far as like the way they put the action and quality together. Because they don't spend a great deal of time wasting frames talking. They actually have decent animation and fighting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't have that overbounding philosophy a lot of animes like to spew at you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if as you say, and you read the manga, right? And you saw the anime.
I've like skimmed the manga because people were
Okay.
complaining and telling me to read it, so I like went and looked through, and I'm like, oh, some of my points were correct, and then I was wrong in others.
Well, you saw that, right? The art in the manga doesn't come nearly as close as the actual anime, right? The anime is a huge step up
Oh yeah.
versus the manga, and yeah, I mean the fights are very nice, but it's because it's super very well directed. The action, the camera work that they have, when especially when everything's hectic and you see the guys, when the camera is like behind the guys when they're swinging around,
Mhm.
it's just the way the camera was set in that anime is just brilliant, and it's complemented by probably a flawless sound direction. So both of those things combine to get very very well action anime. So I'm afraid for the movie because in animation you can do quite a lot more. Unless it's CG, but CG it sometimes ruin it for me because it looks false, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it's gonna be in that sense because if something was good of the anime, as I said, it was the direction and camera work and sound. So I'm hoping I'm hoping I don't know how they can do it, but if they can do that, it could be a great movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've never read the mangas, so I was kind of in the same boat with you there, Ian, when talking about listening to your video about the Attack on Titan and everything. I never read the mangas or the mangas or whatever the hell you call them, the books that you read backwards, because I don't have time. I have a few that I've read and that I have the whole collection for, and that's Battle Royale and Gantz.
Yeah,
Gans.
Battle Royale
Yeah,
is such a good movie.
Messed up.
I heard good things about Battle Royale, but I don't really know much about it.
It's a good, if you can find the novel, read the novel, then watch the movie, and then read the anime, and it fills in a lot of the movie. So, but Gantz, 2 live action movies based off the anime, done really really well. So
Okay.
I have some really good hopes for this Attack on Titan, because I've seen some of the works from over there. I don't know if anyone happened to see the Godzilla Final Wars.
No.
No. Nope.
Okay. If you look up that movie and you see the fight sequences that they've done with the humans in that, really falls in line with what they can do with Attack on Titan, 100%, I think. And another one where you're talking about, Antonio, we're talking about the aspects of the video or even manga to anime to live action. How can you make that transition look good between all three? A good one is Initial D, about the race cars racing on the mountain. If you've read the manga, you've watched the animes, which are on Netflix, and then you watch the live-action movie, you can see the work that they did. It's like watching the anime, watching the live-action, just how they got those cars to flow so steadily, and a lot better than what Fast and Furious does, because they used all real cars, real effects, real drifting, unlike CG or anything like that. So
Yeah, but how can you do that in this type of movie, though? I mean, it's kind of impossible.
Watch Godzilla Final Wars.
Okay. You know what? I'll do that.
Watch that, and you'll see that type of action in there. Or if you can pick up Gantz, that's another good one.
Yeah.
I've seen Gantz. Gantz, man, that's probably the first anime that made me have to read the mangas, man. The way it ended, it's just
My god.
yeah, I was like blue balls, man, blue balls. The definition, it's just the definition of that.
And I've never even heard of Gantz.
It's really good. It's messed up though.
Oh, Gantz is one of the top. It's absolutely one of the best shows and one of the best premises, and I'm surprised no one in Hollywood, in American Hollywood, has decided to jump on this idea.
I'm honestly glad they haven't. I feel like they'd butcher it, you know. Although, unless it was the person who did Saw. Like, for some reason, when I think of Gantz, I think of, like, Japanese Saw. I don't know why that is, but, like, what is the name of it? Like, Twisted Pictures Studios or something like that?
Yeah.
I could see them doing it and, like, keeping that, like, brutal, visceral feeling of the movie.
Not necessarily the torture porn, but just the grittiness and the feeling behind each character, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you watch the first Saw movie, it's not really torture porn. It's more of like you're believing the characters. You're believing that they're going through their crisis, you know, on screen, you know. But the sequels are all about torture porn, you know. How can we blow someone's head off with the bear trappers, some shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
The first one though was more of like just the grittiness, and I think you're right. I think Twisted Pictures would be good, and something like that, and Skeleton Key, or even Bad Robot if you up the production.
Huh.
Bad Robot being the ones behind Star Trek and whatnot, right?
J.J. Abrams, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be good, just minus the lens flares.
Yeah.
Makes
Speaking of robots and live action animes, you guys have seen the live action Dragon Ball Z?
Oh,
Yep.
God.
I did. I didn't care about it.
You're talking like Dragon Ball Evolution or like the
No.
trailer most people made?
The internet show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called. It was the future of Trunks, or the history of Trunks.
Oh,
the story
abridged.
No. It was hold on, let me find this for you. It was. I thought it was pretty good for a fan-made game or a fan-made anime. Dragon Ball.
I remember watching it and not really caring for it.
I mean, it's good. I'm not gushing over it like many other people, though. I gotta
Light of
say.
Hope is what it was called. Yeah.
I'm just not a Dragon Ball Z guy. I'm more of a Dragon Ball. Original Dragon Ball, not Z.
Oh yeah.
The original was great, yeah.
Yeah, I love the original. I don't see anybody ever really doing, besides the live action one that blew. I don't see anybody redoing that one though anytime soon. Dragon Ball Z just like, even though I think Dragon Ball was better, Dragon Ball Z they really grew in popularity. Like that was one that like made anime like iconic. You know, a lot of people got introduced into anime because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dragon Ball Z, and then when Dragon Ball Z kind of went hand in hand, I hate to say it, but Sailor Moon.
Yes!
Oh, yeah. That was my first anime. I'm not ashamed of it.
Dude, I have like
Neither
a
am
whole
I.
video game collection dedicated to Sailor Moon. I should have a collection video for that.
There you go. So here's a question I have for each one of you. We'll start on the left there with Antonio. Because you got into a really good point there about that Dragon Ball Z fan-made thing. What is your favorite fan-made movie and/or movie trailer that you've seen recently?
Oh man, you put me on the spot there.
Yeah.
Movie trailer fan made. Shit. I guess I need a little bit more time on this, but.
All right. Well then, here let's go to the next person, and we'll come back to you, Antonio.
Okay.
I got one over here.
Yep. Go historic nerd. Let's hear it.
The Power Rangers one they just made.
Oh.
The Power Rangers.
You see that one?
But that wasn't a trailer, Russ.
I guess it was kind of just like a pilot almost.
Yeah.
It was like a pilot, true.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a fan-made-esque trailer. There's no real production behind it, or in the sense of, it's not going to be on TV tomorrow, right? That's the whole idea. So, what made you like the whole Transformers, Power Rangers? What made you like it so much?
Oh, just me. I remember growing up on that and like buying the VHS tapes for Power Rangers when I was a kid. So seeing that, especially with the Dawson guy on there, just made my day.
Yeah. What about you, Tavian? What's your favorite fan-made?
I would have to say it was the Street Fighter Assassin's Fist one. Close second would be the Mortal Kombat one, but I'm a huge fan of Street Fighter, and I feel like they really did it justice. The characters they tried really hard to keep the actual nationality of the characters right. Like they had Ken be from America and had an American actor, and then had Ryu as a Japanese actor, and then their sensei was also sensei. Yeah, was also Japanese, and the fighting in it was very good. The acting in it was very authentic, and it just felt like the people who were in the movie and the people who directed it were fans of the series themselves, rather than just a bunch of people trying to make a quick buck off of a popular title.
You mean they didn't have a French Guile?
No, actually, they did not. I was kind of disappointed by that because I didn't get to see any like split punches or anything, any splits and kicks. But yeah, they were authentic.
I have to look into that one. I haven't actually seen that. I've seen the Mortal Kombat one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. So, what about you, Tyler?
Well, I'm actually just did a YouTube search on it, but the one I like the most is have you seen the Twisted Metal fake Sweet Tooth trailer?
Oh, yes.
I don't know why. I just enjoy watching that one so much. It's so low budget, like the way I'll imagine a slasher film would be.
Mm-hmm. That sounds way out in left field. That's a pretty good one. That's a
But
pretty...
like Twisted Metal, the car battle game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be an awesome movie.
Someone did a like a low budget slasher film of Sweet Tooth.
It was like based off Twisted Metal Black, I believe.
Oh
Yeah, that game was dark.
Yeah, they didn't mean it wasn't black for any other reason besides just the way it was. So
Oh yeah.
They can give me
even the
nightmares.
new Twisted Metal that came out for PlayStation 3, that one, the storyline in that was amazing with how Sweet Tooth is a serial killer trying to kill a family. There's one person survived, and that's his goal is to kill that person.
the daughter.
The daughter, yeah.
Oh.
Isn't she a racer though too? In the
Yes,
story, yeah. It's been a long time since I played those.
which they're talking about remaking for the PS4.
Really?
Remaking or continuing?
Remastering and then probably continuing.
Okay.
I'll
But-
probably buy it because the multiplayer was awesome.
Yeah. So let's go back all the way to the beginning here and let's ask Antonio what his favorite handmade thing is. He's got to put the brakes on everything.
Why? No, I mean just looking at some of the YouTube ones. I just saw this very fast one for Spawn. It's called Spawn: The Recall.
Oh.
And man, it looks. I put you guys there the link. It looks very professional, man, and the effects and everything. It looks. If you like Spawn, you're gonna like this. It's only like 7 minutes long, so if you can watch that, go ahead and do it.
That's cool. And then for me, my favorite fan-made one that I've seen recently would have to be one that is unfortunately going to become an Americanized Japanese anime done by Leonardo DiCaprio's production company. And that one would be the Akira
Yep.
and the Akira project.
I still haven't seen that movie. I've been kicking myself saying I need to see this movie.
Do they have a trailer for the live action yet?
Not the official one, but they have a fan-made one with the Akira project did, which is amazing. Which is absolutely the production value on that is I would pay a lot more money to watch a full version of the Akira project and what they did. I'm not looking forward to the Leonardo DiCaprio production company one. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of Leonardo DiCaprio and the fact that it's Leonardo DiCaprio. But I mean,
Maybe
I
still
grew
wins
up.
an Oscar for.
He's not going to win. Oh, can you imagine if they won an Oscar for it? How pissed off would he be? he would absolutely have a shit fit, and I would love to see that. But yeah, no, I like that. I just think Hollywood's gonna butcher it when it comes over, and it's gonna be a sad, sad, sad day. But yeah, so let's continue here. We just got talk about the last thing here. We'll skip one because the last one of them's not a really big story. I mean, it's more of like a what the fuck type thing, and that's the Mexican Star, which of course I guess tacos are huge. Tacos are ginormous in the States. That Mexican flavor, just the way those burritos are. Danny Trejo Machete himself is making a taco shop in LA.
I tell you this though. Those are not real tacos.
LA tacos or just machete tacos?
Machete tacos. No, I'm talking about well, it's like they're Americanized tacos, right? Not
See, what's really funny is Taco Bell has actually tried to break into the Mexican market 3 times and failed each time.
Yeah.
I think they finally had to rebrand it like American or Tex-Mex or something like that in order to actually keep mortar establishments down there.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Here we have it's funny because you would think that it's a stereotype, but it's an actual real stereotype. We do eat a lot of tacos, and we do have a lot of places that will sell different type of tacos.
So is there like tacos everywhere? Like every shop has a taco? Taco on the menu?
Not really. I'll tell you this though. There's really probably 2% of our tacos have ground beef anywhere or sour cream anywhere. Or rice.
Really?
Yes.
What's in your taco then?
Rat. Cat.
Well, I'll send you guys pictures when I have some.
Okay.
I mean, I actually ate Mexico tacos before, but I didn't know what I was really eating. Because I actually been to Mexico once.
What part?
Man, I can't remember. I was on the cruise ship and they dropped us off this island.
Cozumel.
Yeah, Cozumel Island in was it the Caribbean?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, then it was Cozumel. Yeah, Tevin is right.
I've been there twice.
Tacos. They were good ones too.
Burrito kind of guy.
Burritos, tacos. Is it true that you don't put beans in your chili down there in Mexico, and that's just an American thing?
Yeah, it's mostly ground beef, but it depends. There's some people that do use beans for that, but chili is not big here at all.
Well, no, it's a hot food, and so what the hell are you gonna eat a hot food for? You're living in a hot friggin' area.
There you go.
Up in Canada, chili's amazing because it heats us up and it helps melt the damn snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing that is weird is that for some reason, at least in the U.S., Cinco de Mayo seems to be like the biggest for you guys, the biggest Mexican holiday, and it's not even close for us. We don't even celebrate that here.
Americans love an excuse to drink.
Yeah, you defeated the French.
Yeah, but but we don't celebrate that as much. I mean, we celebrate more like our Independence Day, stuff like that. But Cinco de Mayo is really a very mild holiday for us.
Yeah, but you know why, right? You know why.
Why what?
America hates the French, so anything that they can celebrate hating the French, they'll do.
Especially if it involves alcohol.
And alcohol.
Yeah, wasn't it
like that, especially with like anything booze related, like St. Patty's Day?
Yeah. Like, you're not even Irish. Why are you drinking? Because.
Everybody's Irish that day.
Yeah.
But talking about the French, wasn't it funny? Was it that if you Googled like French wings,
French victories.
Yeah, exactly, it will come out saying Did you mean French losses or something like that?
Well, it's
Because
funny about that. Historically, the French have only lost like maybe 10 conflicts out of 600.
Mm.
Dang.
So they have a pretty good win-to-loss ratio, just saying.
Did you guys ever get taught in your American schooling that Canada defeated the States?
Oh,
No.
man, what's really funny is you have two schools of thought on that. You have people who talk about how we were just terrible during the War of 1812, and then there's like, oh, Canada started it. Like, no, we invaded them and lost miserably.
And then we came down to Washington and burned your White House, which was black at the time, and we burned it down, and it became the White House after because it burned all the shit off it. And what was left standing was white, so they made it the White House. So you can thank Canada for that.
I did not know that.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
And that's the funny thing. It's like nobody knows that. And it's like people always argue. It's like, no, America never lost, and it was all Canada's fault, or, you know, the whole War of 1812. And it's fun. It's fun to talk about historical facts that nobody really knows.
We didn't lose. It was a tie.
No, that was Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
No, that was a bad one. But yeah, it was
Vietnam,
James
Gulf
Madison
War.
actually fled the White House with cannonballs flying at him, thanks to Canada.
I know nothing about Canada. I'm learning so much.
Yeah, we took over. We had the White House. We had all of that Washington area, and then we just went, man, let's go home, and we left. That was it. That was the end of the conflict. Is like, you guys realize we can kick your ass now? Yep. See ya.
And then I love the fact that the first major battle the Americans won was after the war was over.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yeah, you guys hit the beaches in New Orleans, and then the entire American army's there hiding behind rocks, shooting at you.
Yeah.
That was British, though.
Yeah. It's like, I thought this war was over. There was one guy with a gun. We're gonna get this back. But hey, you know what? There's a history lesson for all our listeners, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No
Learn
wonder
something new every day.
Knowing it's half the battle.
Yeah, exactly. And believe
G.I.
me,
Joe.
So, again, I guess we'll finish up here with probably what was one of the most interesting things for me, because I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, and I'm pretty sure there's another big Mortal Kombat fan on this podcast today.
I wonder who.
I wonder who. The Mortal Kombat announced that they, on March 13th, which happened to be a Friday the 13th, announced Jason Voorhees is a playable character. Which isn't a huge surprise, as Freddy Krueger was a playable character in Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah.
But the biggest shock is the Predator is a playable character in Mortal Kombat. What are your reactions on all these mystery characters being announced? We'll start with, on the right, with Tyler, and make our way down.
Well, not really much. I don't know much about Predator, but really, it totally does not surprise me since what they did with the last game. But if they're going to put Jason in, they should have brought back Freddy.
You think so?
Yeah, Freddy vs. Jason. That movie's okay.
The movie was actually pretty good. It really wasn't that bad. It sure the hell wasn't any Jason X.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. That was awful.
But every horror franchise has to have at least one in space, like the Leprechaun, Jason.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that'd be even better in space.
No, I wasn't thinking space. I was thinking the one from the really 90s one. That was awful.
Wait, Texas Chainsaw, like the one with McConaughey in it?
I don't remember the actor's name, but it was the one in the 90s where Leatherface looked like more of a female.
Yeah, that was the new generation. Okay, that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The New Generation, which is actually Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, which was with the beginning roles of what's her name? Always looks like she's crying. I forget her name, but Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
See, I don't remember. I will never remember the actors' names, but
this movie was their first role, and they've actually petitioned and were paying money to the studio that owned the rights to the movie to have the movie taken off shelves and never be shown again. They want it off their acting resumes because they want nothing to do with it because they think it's that bad.
It shows too. It was horrible. I got into the first movie, the third movie. No wait, I haven't seen the third one yet. I kind of skipped it. But then I went to the fourth one. Oh my gosh! I was like, I was really enjoying the series until that. And I'm not a horror person either.
I love horror movies. I think they're great.
Not much, but I really will watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. For some odd reason, I really enjoy them. Except for that one.
See, now one thing which always gets me wondering is it, you know what, the fact that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is actually owned by Platinum Dunes, which owns the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street. So does that mean we would happen to see Leatherface show up?
In Mortal
Is that a
Kombat?
possibility in Mortal Kombat?
I think it's possible.
I'd say go for it.
Probably be better if he was in, like, what's the weapon base? Soul Calibur? That'd be pretty cool to see him in there.
Yeah, Nightmare.
And then another quote-unquote one that Platinum Dunes has is, of course, the Amityville Horror, Hitcher, Unborn, lesser-known movies, but The Purge.
Oh.
Is it all like characters from New Line Cinema that they can get as well?
New Line Cinema, the part and part with Dimension Films and Platinum Dunes. So
is Blade there, the vampire hunter? Because
No.
if he's there, that's the correct answer.
So what about you, Tavian? What are your thoughts on these Mortal Kombat?
Not super surprised about Jason, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. I just hope he's not, like, broken or anything. The Predator, I'm really excited about. He had hinted, Ed Boon hinted at the Predator a few times on Twitter, so it's not like a super surprise, but it's still like seeing that trailer and hearing that clicking noise and actually seeing it. It's really awesome. I know I'm going to try him out and play him. I've been a fan of Predator and AVP2 was like an awesome. The best Alien versus Predators game, in my opinion, or Aliens game in general, and they did the Predators and the Aliens pretty good in that game. Hopefully, that kind of hints at the possibility of a Xenomorph. It's a stretch, I know, but that would be cool too. But
As a playable character in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, like maybe a Praetorian or something, like something that stands upright. That's kind of a stretch because the hitbox would be crazy, but I mean, Killer Instinct has some crazy characters as well, so it's not a stretch, but just how far they kind of diversify themselves with the characters, it's kind of like their possibilities are limited right now. They already have a pretty huge roster as it is, but Ed Boon is one of those guys that he always seems to have another trick up his sleeve and likes to tease at things, so it's kind of exciting for what they might do in the future,
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mr. Historic Nerd? You played dabblings in the Mortal Kombat history, or?
See, I remember I played Mortal Kombat 3 a ton when I was younger, and then I remember just not playing it again until there was like a open world Mortal Kombat game that came out. And then I remember hearing that I was really excited when they brought back their traditional one because I guess I always played Sector all the time. But I really hadn't heard much about the new one, like there being a Predator, which would be kind of interesting to see, like a shoulder cannon action. Then maybe him ripping your spine out as a finisher might be kind of fun to watch.
Oh man, can't wait to see those fatalities.
Yeah, and and at the end it has to clean the skull.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, because like takes the sprayer and then all the stuff on.
Some Windex.
Little mini game for that.
What about you, Antonio?
You know what? Fighting games have been doing this for some time now, right? I mean, we had Soul Calibur that had like the Star Wars guys there. And this brings me to what is my fear. I'm hoping we're not gonna have exclusive characters per console, right? Like if you have like the PS4, you're gonna get this one. If you have the Xbone, you're gonna have that one.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they don't do that, you know what? It's great. I think it's great to have cameos and have them, not taking themselves so seriously, and especially this being horror type of characters, monsters, right? It fits naturally to the type of game that Mortal Kombat is, right? It's a gory type of game. So
Yeah.
if you have gory type of characters that have committed horrible things, it just fits naturally. So I like the idea of this.
Mm.
So my question is the problem with putting Jason in there is he's unkillable.
Well, but he loses at the end of every movie, though, typically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he quote unquote loses, but comes back.
But
Like,
he
let's
comes.
say Jason goes to hell. So let's say if Kano rips his heart out, is he going to eat it and turn into Jason?
Oh, that'd be fantastic to see.
No, he'll just grow another one.
Yeah. Or if they blow him up, if the Predator blows him up, or they blow him up with missiles, is he just going to come back? Like he's unkillable. That was the whole premise between Jason X, but you know what? I don't even want to talk about that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, but here's the thing. Do you get DLC costume change where he can be Mecha Jason?
I bet you anything they'd put that in there. Like, I can't see them not putting it in there if they do skins for Jason.
Because the
Just to be
Jason,
annoying, I'd pay for that.
Maybe
yeah,
that's a joke.
because the Jason they have in there is actually the Jason from the Friday the 13th reboot.
Oh.
Right. It's not Jason 1 through Freddy vs. Jason. It's reboot Jason.
Is that the one he actually runs?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that one.
I don't think I've seen that one, actually.
It's the newest one, New Line Cinemas. They're actually making another reboot of Friday the 13th, which is supposed to come out this year, and a sequel to this one, and a TV show to Friday the 13th.
What?
Really, a TV show?
Yeah.
Is it just him killing people every episode, or like?
It's
Probably like a origin story or something.
It's an origin story. It follows the same premises, sort of like Bates Motel, where it's about Crystal Lake and the people that live there, and the story before he dies and when he dies and after he dies about the people there and some sort of curse or whatever. It looked interesting. It's actually going to be really neat to see. It's supposed to come around the same time as the Evil Dead TV show.
What? Huh.
Evil Dead TV show.
I never heard of Evil Dead.
Oh my lordy, people! Do you not read anything that's posted on our website?
Only ones that catch my interest. Like Mortal Kombat.
Good to know I'm working hard for nobody.
I mean,
No, I do see those, man. Evil Dead is.
I know. The Evil Dead stuff was months ago, so way before you guys probably even heard of the console explosion. We covered it on some former, I think, 6 or 7 podcasts ago. We talked about this. So don't worry, it's not like it's something that was like yesterday or anything.
okay,
But
let's say I share everything that it catches my interest.
But the Evil Dead thing is actually Bruce Campbell's back in it. It's a TV show. It's going to be really good. The Friday 13th TV show is going to be pretty cool as well, I think. I think the premise is really cool. But just to see what they do going forth with the character in Mortal Kombat, I'm interested. I want to see fatalities of these people.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to see fatalities. I want to see what they can do. Because you have some of the best kills in movie cinema history from Jason and the Predator, right?
I don't know much about the Predator.
He can blow your face off with a shoulder cannon.
Yeah, those
Because
claws.
I saw Alien vs. Predator a long time ago, but that's about it.
That's a shitty movie. And EVP 2 Requiem was a shitty movie too.
The first Predator's probably one of the best action slash horror movies that there ever was. Probably the finest work from Get to the Chopper. That's what it's come from, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Quote.
Oh,
That's from that movie.
well,
Okay,
I
totally.
have to see it now.
Yeah, of course. It's great.
Is it on Netflix?
Probably not.
Predator now.
Not the first
Should
one.
be.
Predator, the third one is, and that actually is not bad.
Well, I kind of want to see the first one before seeing any other ones.
None of them follow a sequence.
Really? So it's okay. There you go.
Yeah, they're all their own movie. I think the best quote I like from Predator 1 is, "Hey, you're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed." When you got time to duck.
Dude, mine with their basic training, one of the guys I was with spoke in that exact accent, and he had never seen Predator.
Oh man, that makes it great.
It was fantastic. I'd be like doing squad movements with this guy, and he'd be talking, and I just like think I was in that movie the entire time. It was fantastic.
That made me paranoid.
See, I'd love to see that if they put Arnold Schwarzenegger in Mortal Kombat and Danny Glover in Mortal Kombat,
Oh, that'd be great.
like just as like little cameo like assists or something. That'd be funny.
Or
It's
even
like,
Gary Busey.
oh, even Gary Busey. There you go. Or like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like the Predator's there, and it's like one of his like friendships or whatever things is like get to the chopper, and like a chopper comes in, Predator jumps on it and flies away.
How about him doing some Mortal Kombat quotes? That'll be funny.
Oh.
Like, so, if the Predator loses the fight, though, can he blow himself up and kill you too?
That's probably one of his fatalities.
Yeah, oh, that'd be great. It just blows up everything.
That's what I was thinking. Like, was it thermite bomb or something like that?
Well, when you look at it, the mecha version of Smoke was pretty much the Predator.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at the moves and what he could do and his fatalities,
Smoke or Sub-Zero?
I'm thinking of Sector right now.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh.
Two. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 3. Sorry, Mortal Kombat 3. The
Well, he's in
mechanical
two also.
smoke.
Oh, man.
That's amazing.
God.
So yeah, well, I think this is going to wrap it up here, boys. I think it's been a great podcast. I think it's been fantastic to have everyone on here, and I hope everyone listening has enjoyed the show as much as we have putting it on for all of you. And silence.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
You could say, yeah, I agree. I enjoyed being here. Thank you for
Well, I
having
would
me.
say thank you. This is my first time being on the podcast, and I know I didn't contribute that much, but hopefully next time I'll be more talkative.
Hey, we'll have more advanced. It's just the whole week in gaming has been a little slow this week. It's been a weird week, so far. So, but yeah, you know what? For all your gaming news, all your gaming stuff, check out the consoleexplosion.com. These guys don't, so
Dude,
you can follow all these guys and their shows and all their stuff. Excuse me. See, that's where that cold finally comes in. Check out all their stuff on our website. Check out their channels. ConsoleExplosion.com. You can follow me at Console Explosion on Twitter. Check out our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all that wonderful jazz, as well as please sign up and become a new member of our forums, where it gives you the chance to be part of our community and chat with all our wonderful contributors and really be a part of our gaming community that we're trying to build. The link is in the description down below, and if it's not, I probably forgot, but you can find it on our Facebook and everywhere else. My name is Cazteck, and I am saying goodbye from Ottawa, Ontario, and I'll throw to you guys.
Hi, and this is Antonio from Guadalajara, Mexico, where we don't get sick because there's no snow here. You can find me on YouTube. You can search for Gokado Retro Reviews, where I talk about, again, all retro gaming. I do as well some of these stuff that I found in soft meets, like my Nintendo M82, and I talk about other things as well. So you can find me there.
This is Davian Napier, aka The Philosopher. You can find me on Facebook.com/The Philosopher with a CY instead of a S.
The link will be in the description.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, I guess I'll go. This is Video Game Hunter. You can find me on Facebook, the Video Game Hunter. I also have a DeviantArt page, but sadly it's nothing but ponies, so if you like them, I draw a lot of them. And please check out my YouTube channel, which I pretty much make a bunch of random videos. So thank you for having me.
Well, I'm Ian. I go by the Historic Nerd. If you Google that, you can pretty much find everything I'm associated with, or historicnerd.com. Yeah, thanks for having me on the podcast. It was pretty fun.
Right, it's great having you. So yeah, make sure you check out all their stuff. And this is Cazteck from the Console Xplosion saying, get off the counter. Hey.
Is it gonna be something different every week?
Every week, buddy. Every week.
I love that.
Goodbye.